Hi there, my name is Steve Gearhart and this is the Otaku Observer. Thank you so much for showing up and watching this week's video. Today we're going to talk about a rebooted anime called Casshern Sins. As I said before, Casshern Sins is a reboot of the original Casshern series, which was about Casshern, an android who looked like a human being, who is a protector of mankind in a post-apocalyptic world. He protected them from the evil robots led by the Breaking King, and that was the series. So, it got a reboot. There was a manga in, I believe, 2008. There was the anime was released in 2009 in Japan, and it came over to Adult Swim in 2012. I was able to see a preview episode at Otaku, I believe, 2011. And I thought it was really interesting because it was a lot different than the original 70s anime. And when I say a lot different, I do mean different. The storyline is completely different. The character designs are very similar. Of course, the animation is a lot better. But again, it's kind of neat to see the old character android designs and robot designs make their way into the new Casshern Sins series. So what makes it different? Well, in the original, Casshern is, of course, the hero, right? You know, he's protecting mankind. In Casshern Sins, he is not the good guy. I mean, he does the hero story arc, but he starts off as not being the good guy. So instead of fighting the Breaking King, he is actually created by the Breaking King along with some other androids, sophisticated androids, to go out and kill the savior of mankind, who goes by the name of Luna. So let me explain. You're like, wait a minute. In the first series, he was protecting her, and now in this series, he's killing her? Yeah, that's the gist of it. So in the new series, in the reboot, what happened is that mankind, scientists led by Luna, are able to figure out how to make humans immortal, basically by being able to make their bodies regenerate consistently and constantly all the time, so they never grow old, and if they get injured, they can just regrow things, or things heal and stuff like that. So, and not only that, but they figure out that they can apply that to machines as well. And as they are discovering this, the machines themselves, the robots that are assistants to them, just simple programmed machines, suddenly become self-aware, like Skynet. And so the Breaking King is the leader of these robots, and he's starting to feel like we don't need the humans. We can. I'm thinking about killing these people off, but that hasn't quite happened yet. So as mankind is like learning, hey, we can be immortal, Luna decides this may not be a good idea. So I think people should have a limited lifespan to be able to live life to the fullest. And and enjoy life. So it's not like she's like wants everybody to die. She just wants everyone to be happy in the moment and good in life, and do whatever they can in the time that's allotted to them. So that's kind of how she feels about it. And so instead of denying the treatment, so to speak, she kind of uses it to heal people. Maybe there's some people whose lives do need to be prolonged a little bit, so she's willing to do that. And like I said, it turns out that it can be done to machines as well. And mankind is okay with this. They're like, oh, okay, we get it. Yeah, cool. At least, we're going to lead healthy lives before we die, and we're going to live life to the fullest. That's great. And the machines, the newly sentient machines, some of them are like going, yeah, you know what? We don't mind helping mankind along in their journey. And, we'll be able to, also regenerate and be repaired. And someday we'll be like humans and die too. So, this is kind of okay for everybody. Not for the Breaking King. He does not like this. He figures that since machines can repair themselves, they don't need the humans and their discoveries. So what he does, and he's really upset by the fact that a lot of machines are leaving him to follow Luna. So he's really mad about that. So what does he do? He creates these androids that look like human beings to sneak in among them, to try and find Luna and kill her. And they succeed. And in doing so, they destroy the world. So the world, what happens next is what's called the ruin. So there's all these big toxic clouds that go around the earth, and they're killing everything, all plant life, all human life. The machines it's like they're fast corroding in this kind of atmosphere. So their circuits are breaking down, their parts are breaking down, and it gets to the point when there's almost no human beings, so there's no factories to make spare parts. So the machines are actually dying, and they're in fear of death. And there's almost no mankind left, and what little there is cannot reproduce, so it looks like the world is about to die. And like the entire world's a wasteland, a rocky, sandy, barren wasteland. It's just, there's no life. So Casshern, as a result of being part of the assassination plot, somehow loses his memory and goes in suspended animation for centuries. So we're now centuries later in this situation. He wakes up, he doesn't know what's going on, and he's just like, okay, what, why is everyone trying to kill me? Why is mankind dead? What's happened to the world? I got nothing. He doesn't remember anything. So the first part of the story is him. First small part of the story is about him getting his memory back, or being told what has happened. And he learns two things. The reason why everyone wants to kill him, in terms of robots, is because they are being told that if they find him, and they destroy him, and they devour him, then they will be able to take on his properties, his ability to regenerate, because he's not affected by the toxic cloud at all. Like, he can regenerate the whole 9 yards. He got the treatment. So they're saying that he can, if you take him into yourself, then you will have a everlasting life. The other rumor, which he seizes on greatly because he's trying to figure things out, is that Luna is alive but in a different form. So he treks out to find Luna, to find answers, to see if there's any way to reverse what's going on, and just wandering the world, so to speak. And that's the plot of Casshern. So it sounds kind of bleak, and it is bleak because basically what we're talking about here is death. He's the embodiment of death. He's everywhere he goes, things die. He's the cause of the ruin, and it's kind of sad. And when I say sad, I don't mean sad like A Silent Voice or Grave of the Fireflies. It's kind of sad where you're sobbing in your seat. It's just kind of depressing to know that here are all these different characters who are knowingly dying, right? All these robots, they know that they're dying, and they know that there's an end, and there's nothing they can do about it, and their one and only hope is to try to find Casshern so that they can live forever. But, what's the point of living forever if everything around you is ruined? So, it's just very depressing. The human beings the few human beings that it comes across, they're very bitter because they're looking at the end of the race. They're all dying too. There's nobody being reproduced. Nobody can. It's done. Everything's done. And so it's just this episode after episode going through this bleak landscape. There's little pockets here and there of a little bit of life, but those are generally being taken care of by robots who acknowledge that they're going to die, but they want to make one last thing beautiful before they go. And that's sad in and of itself. So that's why you need to watch something happy, like Shin-Chan or Now I'm a Spider, So What, after you watch an episode of this. But it is a really good anime. It's worth watching. It talks a lot about life and death, and it talks about redemption, revenge. There's a lot of Christian stuff going on in here, and there's a lot of insanity that goes on with this. But it's a good watch, and it's one of those things where you watch it once, and you probably don't need to watch it again because it's going to be burned in your brain. That's kind of how good it is. So, am I saying watching Casshern Sins? Yes. Am I also saying that you'll need to follow it up with something that's palate cleansing? Absolutely. So that's my review of Casshern Sins. To let you know, OnCon 3 is March 19th and 20th, just around the corner, and I hope you guys are going to be there. The links for that will be down below, and see you then. All right, guys, take it easy. you.